It seems the Russian President Vladimir Putin is getting impatient. Russia clearly did not expect this much resistance from the Ukrainians. So in the past 1 week, the Kremlin has moved to a new phase. Artillery, rocket launchers, drones, missiles, and obviously men on foot. Russia has amassed its military prowess, and a major chunk of this is stationed just 25 kilometers away from the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. Let's give you a better sense of how the 17th day of war has looked, what it's been like for the people. The sounds of gunfire explosions kept them awake. Air raid sirens blared to warn the residents to seek shelter, many of whom have not left their bunkers for days now. A military airfield south of Kiev has been destroyed. According to the mayor of Vasilkiv, the rockets hit the runway and a fuel depot. Some even reported explosions at a nearby ammunition store. A mortar shell struck a neighborhood in the Kiev region. Firemen rushed to extinguish the fire. We cannot confirm the number of casualties at the moment. Russian state TV aired fresh footage from the Kiev region. It claimed that Russian helicopters destroyed Ukraine's military equipment. According to the same report, troops on the ground are looking for Ukrainian nationalists and travel routes of their armed forces. We cannot independently verify the authenticity of these visuals. Ukraine made plans to open up humanitarian corridors to get people out of the cities under the constant Russian attack, but the fighting and the shelling have been hampering the evacuation efforts. Civilians in Bucha, which is located in the northwest of Kiev, are being evacuated. Situation at home is extremely grim. Residents saying that their town has been hit by heavy shelling. The dead remain uncollected on the streets.
We went on foot from Bucha to Irpin. We crossed the Russian checkpoints and came to our checkpoint. Bucha is permanently under shelling and totally destroyed, and at the moment it is controlled by the Russian troops.
It is still not clear what Russia plans to do in the capital. Moscow says it has no intention of overthrowing the current government, but with the Russian president's cards so close to his chest, no conclusions can be drawn as of now. In case Kiev falls, who will be taking the top seat? Will Moscow govern the country, or will the Kremlin appoint a yes man as Ukraine's next president? Our correspondent Anas Malik has been tracking those developments on the ground. He earlier sent us this report from Kiev. Take a look.
Well, day 17th of the Russian invasion of Ukraine and hostility continues. The Ukrainian forces claim to have pushed back the Russian forces from the northwest city of Irpin, from where the attack was being speculated that the advancement towards Kiev was being done by the Russian side. I was in Irpin today, and the fact that today was a weekend, so we heard more and more shelling being done from the position where we were. We saw and heard that they were presumably Russian shells that were fired towards the Ukrainian military, and the Ukrainian military did retaliate as well. The Ukrainian military claims to have also destroyed a couple of tanks of the Russian military. Now, on to the situation here in the capital of Kiev. There are more and more trenches that come up every day, more and more checkpoints, more and more concrete blocks, and more volunteers. And today is no different. The travel time in this city has increased by about 3 to 4 folds, and the roadblocks that are there, essentially these with iron rods and tire busters, that seem to have visibly increased. There is an acute shortage of essential supplies in the city, and supermarkets can be seen partially empty as well, but those supplies are fulfilled the very next day once the train that takes out people for evacuation purposes from Kiev to Lviv, that train comes back full without passengers but with the essential supplies. Anas Malik in Kiev, Ukraine, for WION World is One.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.